We're just mere moments away from the start of this Region 8 final here at Lakota West. Anderson and Trotwood-Madison, along with Nate Mahon. I'm Geoff Kim. Nate, one of the big things going into the ballgame, let's forget about the teams for a second. Weather. How do you think it's going to play out tonight?
Oh, absolutely, Jeff. I mean, here's the thing. You don't want to win the game on special teams, but you could certainly lose it. So I'm concerned about the weather and special teams. The snap, the hold, the kick, the whole thing.
And that will make a difference tonight, we expect. It'll be a great one here tonight for the Region 8 final. We'll have the kickoff here in mere moments here on Spectrum News 1. Well, there's nothing like rainy days and Mondays to bring you down, but somebody will be singing in the rain tonight after winning the Region 8 championship. It's Anderson. It's Trotwood-Madison. Next on Spectrum News 1. Hello and a pleasant good evening to you, along with Nate and Mahon. I'm Geoff Kim. As we bring this one to you from Beckett Ridge, here from the campus of Lakota West High School. Tonight, it's the top seed Anderson against the 3 seed Trotwood-Madison. And for the first time, we bring in Nate Mahon into this broadcast. One of the things that we thought about going into this one, weather, and weather's going to play a factor tonight.
Absolutely, Jeff. Hey, thanks for having me. Number one, Ohio high school football is as good as it gets. I know we got a great game going on across town, but we got a great one tonight with some of the best 2 public school programs in the state, Trotwood and Anderson.
It's Anderson and Trotwood-Madison. We'll have the starting lineups and we'll have the kickoff when we come back here on Spectrum News 1. We're just mere moments away from the start of this one here at Lakota West between the 3 seed Trotwood-Madison and the number 1 seed Anderson here in Region 8. Along with Nate Mahon, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Spectrum News 1. A week ago, it was a blowout as you kind of stayed with us here on Spectrum News 1. A whitewashing of Harrison for the 3 seed Trotwood-Madison. They're going to have a sterner test tonight, partner.
Yeah, I think Trotwood-Madison has a heck of a schedule. I mean, they've played 2 of the best teams in Indianapolis, in Center Grove and Cathedral. They're battle-tested. They played Walsh Jesuit, who's still playing tonight. I think they're good to go. I think it's going to be a great game. I think the weather's going to be a factor, and I look forward to see who can run the ball in the rain.
On the other side, it was a tight-knit affair in Forest Hills a week ago. Anderson ran off 35 straight points in the second quarter and hung on for dear life against LaSalle.
They did. Obviously, LaSalle is a very good opponent, GCL South team. I think Anderson has been there and done that for the last couple of years, so I think it's going to come down to special teams. I think the weather's going to be a factor, and again, I look forward to seeing who can run the ball in this weather and win the turnover battle, Jeff.
Again, dreary conditions here tonight. Game time temperature 50 degrees, but the rain letting up by the minute, right? So hopefully we'll have a clean second half as we await this one to get going. The winner of this game will face the winner of the Region 7 game. That's the top seed Sunbury Big Walnut and the 3 seed Massillon Washington. All 4 of their combined wins have been running clock wins. But we need to get through this one here, and it will be Anderson to kick away, and they will kick to the south end. And that's where Trotwood-Madison will get the ball first. The Rams are 8-3. Jeff Graham's their head coach in the 6th season. As we await the kickoff from Maddox Snyder, and away we go here in Beckett Ridge. And this will go in for a touchback. The quarterback is Dallas Sheehy at 127 for 223. That's 57% passing, 1,856 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. Dalen Dennis, Terry Harrell, Armani Rogers, Tristan Bozeman, and Justice Taylor are the skill players that will go out there. Juice Weiss is the left tackle, Tyree Payne the left guard, Chandler Moore the center, Kieran Stroud the right guard, and Elijah Appleberry will open up at right tackle. So we get underway 1st and 10 here in Beckett Ridge. And the run play to get started. Not much there. The defense for the Anderson Raptors at 12-0. Evan Dreyer is your head coach in his 10th year. Up front, it's Landon Edwards, Nick Pastura, and Rylan Dean. The linebackers, Antoine Higgins, Tanner Holt, Reed Baker, and Brady Kuhn. The corners are Kamari Ty and Ace Alston. Gerard Lindsey and Mark Madden are the safeties. Second down. Trotwood-Madison runs the ball about 57% of the time this year on 2nd and 10. No gain on the last carry. Sheehy steps up with time. Now gets some yardage, should have a first down, and out to the 35-yard line, and a good start here for the Trotwood-Madison Rams.
And Jeff, I tell you what, right away, first down, Trotwood tried to establish the run game, and on second down, they drop back the pass, and Dallas takes off for a big play on second down. I think it's going to be very interesting to see if Anderson can contain the quarterback. He's an explosive player.
A big gain of 15 for Dallas Sheehy, who averages just about 3.5 yards a carry this year. Has an offer standing to go to Central State University out in Wilberforce, just to our northeast. First and 10 out of the 35 after the pickup of 15. A little check with me and a shotgun look for Sheehy. And it's another run play, and it looks like Harrell this time for a couple of yards. Terry Harrell averaging almost 8 yards a carry, 437 yards on the ground this year after getting a couple of touchdowns last week against Harrison.
Yeah, they run a two-back approach. Obviously, Terry Harrell right there and Dalen Dennis. Terry Harrell is the bigger of the two backs. I would expect him to get more carries in a situation and game where we're probably going to run the ball more than throw it.
Harrell at 6 foot tall, 205 pounds, whereas Dalen Dennis at 5'9", 167 pounds. On 2nd and 6. And a throw, and it's over the middle and complete. Out to the 45-yard line, incomplete. It was in the breadbasket of the receiver, but dropped, and it is slick out there, and it's going to be hard to catch tonight.
It is. It's a night where you tell your kids you probably want to use your pads and catch the ball using your pads as opposed to trying to catch the ball with your hands, which you traditionally want your receivers to do, right? Use their hands. But on a night like tonight, you probably want to use the extra surface of the pads to protect the ball.
Defending third downs, Anderson is 51.5%. On 3rd and 6 with 10:07 left to play here in this first quarter. No score, just getting started. They show blitz, they come with an extra. And this one incomplete out to the sideline, and Trotwood-Madison will have the punt.
And Trotwood, first time they showed an empty set, dropped back the pass, tried to throw a quick route, and again, it looks like it's going to be tough to throw and catch tonight so far.
Coach, when you've had to deal with situations like this, how do you prepare your team? Is it bigger cleats? Is it a little more stick them on the gloves? What is it?
Yeah, I think the first thing you do is tell your offensive players to take their gloves off. In nights like this, the human skin is better than the gloves element. And again, you want to catch the ball using your pads the best as possible. And then as far as special teams go, you want to really make sure you pay closer attention to the snap and the hold.
See if that's Elijah Appleberry, and the kick, it'll go to the return man, Kamari Ty. He reverses field and doesn't get much. Out to the 27-yard line, and that's where they'll start 1st and 10. Where the quarterback is Owen Scalf at 6'2", 180 pounds, a junior, 296 for 406, 73% passing this year, 3,882 yards, 32 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, a rating of 175.8. The running back is Jordan Davis. Cooper Kathman, Braden Moore, Tegan Jalick, and Tyson Weaver are the wide receivers. The left tackle is Bram Hermans. Tegan Harituku is the left guard. Quinn Gage in the center. The right guard is Mike Windsor, and Brady Riley is the right tackle. 1st and 10 out at the 28-yard line with 9:49 left to go here in the opening quarter.
You see right there on a simple running back exit motion, we're trying to just dump the ball into the flat, and he had a hard time catching the ball.
4-man front for Trotwood-Madison, Quentin Petty and Tristan Nichols on the outside, Elijah Appleberry and Jeremiah Nash on the inside. We'll give you the rest here after this play on 2nd and 10. The look left, now the look over this way to Weaver, and it's incomplete. Here's the rest of the defense. The linebackers are Cam Martinez and Deshaun Peterson. The corners are Mike Keith and Emmanuel Turner. The safeties are Jariah Zigo, Karan Foster Jr., and Darius Dennis. Third and 10. Scalf in trouble, now out of the pocket. Now coils, reloads, and throws it out of bounds, 3 and out. Maybe, we'll see.
You know, in talking with Coach Dreyer in warm-ups, he mentioned to me about punting. He mentioned to me about field position, a couple of things that you don't hear him say a whole lot. But he's very cognizant of the field position battle for tonight. He's very aware of the special teams battle for tonight.
4th and 10, and they're going to show go. And then we've got to stop.
This will be interesting to see if they do indeed go for this, or do they see the quarterback back up and do a quick kick with no one back and punt return.
And he punted 3 times a week ago against LaSalle. And in fact, he had a career-high 58-yarder. Now, it did roll for a couple yards, and it's a quick kick. And of course, with no return man, no deep safety back there, it'll be an easy down, and that'll be downed out at the 34-yard line. Punch, counter punch, both teams have survived so far the first wave.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a field position battle tonight. You know, if I'm Trotwood-Madison, I would consider having someone back deep just in case on 4th and long. You know, you're giving up some field position and hidden yardage every time that ball is punted and it rolls out.
We might have given you the wrong spot here. Let's see. It's like it is at the 33-yard line. By the way, on that last defensive set for Anderson, only 24 seconds elapsed off the clock. You don't want that if you're Evan Dreyer. The run, and boy, they collapsed out on that right side very, very well.
That's the first look at Trotwood having a heavier set. Looks like 21 personnel, 2 tight ends in the game, 2 receivers in the game, trying to establish a downhill run game.
Officially no gain on that as they try to go on that right side. Trotwood-Madison doesn't have a particularly big line. Not like as Anderson. Anderson has a couple 300-pounders going on the offensive line. You don't have anybody over 280 on Trotwood-Madison's O-line. On 2nd and 11, so officially a loss of 1, shotgun snap. And this one complete out to the left side. Some good yards out to the 40-yard line.
Same formation set there. They were able to take advantage of a one-on-one. It looked like just a hitch route out there. Was able to throw and catch it pretty nice. Brings up a short and manageable 3rd down.
To number 12, Tristan Bozeman.
3rd and short. Both teams trying to do something on 3rd down for the first time tonight.
3rd down, 1-2.
They go twins to the near side. And it's a run to the big back. And it's 1st down yardage here for Terry Harrell.
The handoff to number 9, Terry Harrell.
Yeah, they flipped the formation from the last couple of plays. Handoff inside. Offensive line for the first time had a nice push on the inside handoff. 1st down, Trotwood.
Ball out to the 44-yard line. They needed 2, got 3 on that play. With 7:45 frozen on the clock as they reset. And we'll wind up the clock. Fast moving to be sure. We talked with Scott Kaufman before the game, and he says he hopes to see a lot of running and get out of here within 2 hours.
I think Trotwood went from a couple of spread sets early. Now they're, again, playing in 21 personnel. I expect them to continue to run the ball.
Twins to the right. And a look, and harassed. Kuhn gets away from Kuhn, and now we'll have to throw it away. Intended out there for a wide receiver, Tristan Bozeman, but incomplete.
Yeah, Jeff, what I saw there was they had a couple of successful run plays. They went to try to go play action pass, and the outside linebacker was in the front, the lap of the quarterback there, and just was able to get it away in time.
By the way, he was harassed very hard by Brady Kuhn, who has 24.5 tackles for loss this year.
That's a lot of tackles for anybody, let alone tackles for loss.
Through 12 games and change, he has 100 tackles on the season. ECC Defensive Player of the Year, Brady Kuhn. On second down, the look, the little throw over to the near side, incomplete, off the hands of Dalen Dennis.
Yeah, trying to get Dalen Dennis in space there with a little tailback swing route again. Looked like he had a little bit of space, but again, the same message right now. It's hard to throw and catch the ball.
Dalen Dennis, not much of a threat out of the backfield, just 4 catches this year. They don't really throw to the running backs in this. They really look for Rogers and Bozeman on the outside, as well as the tight end Justice Taylor. 3rd and 10. Opponents for Anderson, just 26% on 3rd down this year, but we've already seen 1 conversion tonight. The look right, throw right, complete to the right to Rogers. And move the chains for 1st and 10 coming up here. Trotwood-Madison keeps moving on.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to give Armani Rogers the 1st down there. Really nice poise by the quarterback, sitting there, staying in the pocket, letting Rogers make his outcut at the 1st down marker. Great throw and catch, big-time pickup on 3rd down. Anderson only sent 4 there. It'll be interesting to see if they continue to only send 4 and drop into coverage, or if they try to light them up with maybe sending 5 or 6.
Rogers has 51 catches now after the last one. About 15 yards a catch this year. He has a team-leading 10 touchdown receptions. He is the leading scorer on this team. And they go to Dennis. A little counter that doesn't fool anybody.
Back to the run on 1st down, Jeff. They went back to their 21 personnel tight end set.
The Anderson front line's a little small for what you think about a team that plays this late into a season, but that's really a testament to the linebackers. All 4 of them really rally to the ball well when they know it's a run play.
They've got 2 great outside linebackers. They've got 2 very good inside linebackers, and I like Landon Edwards as a defensive tackle as well. They've got some very good players up front.
No gain off that last run play, 2nd and 10. As we're at the halfway mark of this 1st quarter. No score. And the throw over to the left, incomplete.
Tried to go back to a hitch there. They had success on the last set of downs. Be interesting to see what they come up here on 3rd down and 10.
When you need something good, now you've completed on a couple of 3rd downs already on this drive. You perpetuated the drive. Anderson's a little bit on their heels right now, even though you did see Kuhn a couple plays ago get into the offensive backfield.
I'm going to take a look and see if they're going to send 4, if they're going to drop into coverage and drop everybody, if they're going to take a little bit of a risk and try to bring 5 or 6 to get to Sheehy.
Sheehy with time now, loses time, rolls left, in pursuit. He's going to have to throw it out to the sideline, incomplete. He threw it away, harassed very heavily out on that side. Nick Pastura gave him a lot of trouble out there. 4th down.
So they did bring a zone blitz from the boundary that time. So in a zone blitz, they'll bring 2 guys from the same side, and then they'll drop another guy out. So that's a 5-man pressure. You were able to see Dallas get out of the pocket, and he couldn't make a play with his feet there. Great scheme there for Anderson. Come up with a stop on 3rd down.
Another punting situation. Kamari Ty out at his 12-yard line. He's going to let this one drop, and it'll hold fast right around the 15-yard line. I don't know why he went in to cover it, given that there were 3 Rams there, but it's a 35-yard punt, nothing on the return. With 5:36 left to go, the Anderson defense has stiffened here in the late minutes.
Yeah, Anderson did a great job holding Trotwood to a drive with a kick, right? They ended up with a punt. They got over midfield, but they hung in there. You know, the interesting thing so far with special teams, seen a couple of interesting kicks and catches so far. We've had a quick kick from Anderson, and then we have a couple of good punts from Trotwood, and then not sure what happened there on the punt return. So, again, special teams coming into play so far, no harm done.
1st and 10 from Mahon, 15-yard line.
They go triplets to the left, Tyson Weaver in the middle, and they set up a screen, and it's for Jalick. Jalick out to the sideline, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and great rallying out there for Trotwood-Madison.
Owen Scalf. to number 12.
Jariah
Steven.
Zigo, one of the safeties, out there in pursuit and really contained.
Anderson going to hurry up here.
They look right now, throwback left, and it's Jalick again, out to the side. Has more room, has a first down out across the 30-yard line.
Does a really nice job of setting up what was basically a tunnel screen out here to Jalick. The other thing I saw from the last play was that Trotwood was very quick to come up on a screen, so look for a double move, maybe a screen and go at some point here.
First down tonight for Anderson. This is a team that piles up yardage in a hurry, 472 a ball game. That is a snootful. And the quarterback will keep. Second man through, good yardage on first down. Stopped out there by Jeremiah Nash, but good yardage.
Tackle was made by number 52, Jeremiah Nash.
Kind of the game within the game, Jeff. Trotwood does have a lot of guys go both ways on the line. Be interesting to see how they do as the game goes on.
The look
There's
left.
your double move.
And Tyson Weaver, too tall for him, defended well out on that outside by Karan Foster Jr.
So that play was set up a couple of plays ago with the screen to Jalick. On this situation, they fake the screen to Jalick, and they take the slot guy. He comes out and acts like he's blocking and takes off down the numbers. Trotwood covered it.
On 2nd and 10, a little check with me back to Evan Dreyer, the head coach and, of course, the offensive coordinator, Mr. Everything over there apparently in Forest Hills. The look over the middle. Now the throw to the right, and it's a deep route intended out there for Kathman, incomplete.
Trotwood's done a really good job so far of mixing up when they're playing man coverage, when they're playing zone coverage. Right there, Anderson tried to take a shot on an inside fade, okay? So, but the safety, if they're going to let him play like that, that was a physical coverage right there situation. So, again, if they're going to let him play like that, it's going to be tough to complete those one-on-one situations.
On 3rd and 10, where Anderson is 51% on third downs this year. They need the 50 for the line of game, 3-step drop, and now the look left and nearly picked off. In and out of the hands out there by Zigo as he was looking on the outside for Tyson Weaver.
Number 16.
4th and 10 situation again. Looks like they're staying in the offense. They may go for it. Trotwood did drop a guy back now, ready for a quick kick situation.
Ball's at the 40-yard line. And it is another quick kick, end over end. And it is collected by the return man, and good yardage across the 40, down the sideline, across the 50-yard line.
Caught by number 8, Owen Scalf. Is taken in return by number 6, Mike Keith.
So the return by Mike Keith, the starting cornerback, and good yards back across the 50. So for the first time in the last couple of games that we've seen Anderson, the quick kick failed, and good yards here for Trotwood-Madison.
Give Trotwood-Madison credit there. Again, they dropped back the corner, Keith. He caught the ball, and he got positive yardage. Really nice job there by making an adjustment from the first quick kick where they just let it roll. Saved probably 4 first downs there and hidden yards.
By the way, we'll have to see if this gets in the head of Evan Dreyer, because the net on that after the return is 5 yards.
There you go. Yeah, that's hidden yardage that's gained by Trotwood there.
Pistol look, Sheehy looking to trigger, and now a flag coming in from the defensive backfield. It's a false start against Trotwood-Madison.
Good ball. Delay game. Offense.
Not a lot of penalties. At least this is a start of the penalties here tonight, and it's a false start against Trotwood-Madison. We don't have the penalty data for Trotwood-Madison, but Anderson this year has committed 99 penalties, while their opponents have only committed 60. Shotgun on 1st and 15 out of the 50. The step up, Sheehy, the long ball up front for Bozeman, incomplete. Tristan Bozeman had a step out on the seam, but the throw a little long to bring up 2nd down.
I like the play call. First down, you got an offside situation, so you're 1st and 15. Go with a shot. You're over the 50-yard line, so they ran double post. They ran a play action double post, and he did have a step on the defender.
Bozeman is a deep threat, 516 yards on 24 catches. That's 21 and a half yards per reception. So when he gets them big. Sidecar right, and now he rolls to the right, under pressure, under duress, and he'll have to throw this one away. Backside pursuit by guess who? Brady Kuhn.
Boy, it looked like Anderson brought everybody. I couldn't count how many they brought, but I would say it felt like about 7. Trotwood's staying in that big set. They got a tight end wing to the same side. They got 2 receivers to the field. Again, they look like they're liking that set. They're having some success with it. 3rd and 15 is a long time, though, here right now. 3rd and 15 is probably not what you want. Maybe they'll try to get half of it and go for it on a 4th, or they'll try to pick up the whole thing and be comfortable with punting.
You're kind of in no man's land at the 50, right? So that's a good point. If you get out to, like, say, the 42 or the 43, maybe you go instead of turn the field around for Anderson. 5 on the play clock. Snap Sheehy. Steps up, looks left, throws, and it is complete for Armani Rogers. He has the first down out on the sideline and move the chains for the Rams.
My gosh, what a play that was. I really liked watching the poise of Dallas Sheehy step up in the pocket. You had double-edged pressure. The tackles did a nice job of running the rush up the field. He steps up in the pocket, delivers a nice ball, and what a play. What a play. What a catch and run.
Fishy, a gain of 20 in the first big play tonight here, and it's being thrown by the Rams.
Back to the heavy set on first down, tight end wing into the boundary, into the short side. 2 receivers out here wide right.
Kalen Trigg, late coming into the ball game, goes out as a slot to the right, and the give. And not much out on that left side for Terry Harrell, a couple.
Definitely start to see a tendency from Trotwood trying to establish the run on first down.
By the way, we saw on that last play, Kylan Trigg, beg your pardon, he wears 80, come in late off the sideline. We thought there was going to be a substitution issue. Nothing doing. They will play it on, and it's a gain of 1. 3:36 left to go in a very quick-moving first quarter. It's like both teams have an airplane to catch. Twins out to the right. And Anderson showing blitz. Sheehy looking, throwing deep, Rogers touchdown!
I tell you what, Jeff, Trotwood looked like it moved early. I don't know what happened there. I'm not sure if we missed a false start. We'd have to go back and see it, but by my naked eye, I thought Trotwood's slot moved early.
Well, they're calling it good. They played on, and if there's a flag, they've picked it up. It's a 29-yard touchdown reception to Armani Rogers, 6-0 Trotwood-Madison. And this one does barely get through. We thought that somebody got a hand on it as Andrew Thornton kicks it through, and we get a brand new score here in Beckett Ridge, 7-0. We'll take a short time out here on Spectrum News 1. You can watch the OHSAA Game of the Week live each Friday on Spectrum News 1 and on the Spectrum News app, and in the playoffs. Several other games each Friday are available on our website. Just look for Stream High School Sports. Games will also remain there on demand. 7-0. First blood drawn by the lower seed, the 3rd seed, Trotwood-Madison, over the 1 seed, Anderson. They capped off a 5-play drive that went 45 yards. It was a 29-yard touchdown pass from Sheehy to Rogers, the point after good, and our score here in Beckett Ridge is 7-0. While it did look like there was movement on the line attacking Sheehy, he stepped up in the pocket and Rogers was all by himself in the deep middle. Everybody was caught off guard.
Yeah, Jeff, I would love to have another look at that because it seemed like to me live there were some Anderson players that stopped on the play. Trotwood kept playing and subsequently scores a big play touchdown.
Yeah, where's the flag, right? So it's like when you expect a flag, it's obvious, at least from what seems like your side, and then when it's multiple players, you're looking for it, and then meanwhile, Armani Rogers said, I'll have it in the deep middle.
Yeah, that's a great learning learning situation for everybody. You just play until the whistle blows.
Well, we felt like coming into this ball game that big plays would be a factor tonight. One swing of a bat, if you will, if you want to use a baseball analogy, can really turn around a game. And right now, Trotwood-Madison has the early advantage. It's a short kick taken by one of the upmen out at the 25, and a good return out towards the 40-yard line for Mark Madden. Or was it Moore? It was Moore.
That was made by number 33.
Yeah, that looked like wide receiver Braden Moore. I tell you what, that was really nice the way he put his elbows together, scooped up the ball. Shout out to Coach Dreyer and his special teams. That looked like it was well coached. Very nice return on a sloppy night out to the 40.
One of the things that Geoff Graham, the head coach for Trotwood-Madison, said about special teams is we have to be special on special teams as they throw out to Weaver for a few yards. So knowing that, and knowing that you don't have the deep kicking game, it's hard to take advantage of being special on kickoffs. What do you do?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Real quick, Jeff. Again, I go back to, you may not win the game on special teams on a night like tonight. You just can't lose it. And what I saw out of Trotwood there, they squibbed the kickoff. Anderson did a nice job, got what they could on the return, got it out to the 40. In Trotwood's mind, they probably won because they didn't give up a huge return, right?
Right.
Anderson's probably thinking, hey, we fielded the ball, we got out to the 40, got good field position. So a little bit of a stalemate there, and you'll take it on a night like tonight.
Legal procedure on Anderson. It's 2nd and 13. Deep drop Scalf with time, throws deep middle for Jalick, incomplete out of the 35-yard line.
Boy, Jalick had a step on him right there again. This looked like a simple post route, got behind the DBs, maybe just a yard too long on the throw.
Safety would look a little late coming over.
He did. I couldn't tell if his eyes were in the backfield on the quarterback or what, but he was able to get behind him.
Triplets to the right. 2 by 3 in this formation, empty set. And Scalf with time, he steps up, now throws over the middle. It's complete out at midfield. Well done out there by Cooper Kathman, the safety valve.
Very nice throw and catch. What I liked, I saw Kathman catch the ball with his pads, right? A wet night like this, use his pads to support the ball. Good catch and throw.
The keeper by Scalf. He has 5 off the left side, pushing the pile. It's a nice rugby scrum out there, and he might have 3 more to bring up 2nd and short. So that big left side, good job out there. Bram Hermans at 6'2", 240, and Tegan Haratuku at 6'2", 280. So officially a gain of 7, 2nd and 3. Shotgun, again time. Again, the throw over the deep middle, and scooped, incomplete. Tyson Weaver tried to sell the catch, but it's incomplete to bring up 3rd and 3.
Same empty set. I expect maybe a quarterback run here on 3rd and 3.
Scalf. Now they set up the screen. It's to Jalick, and it's off his hands. He tried to run without the ball, and it'll bring up 4th down with 2:20 left to go. Knowing Anderson and knowing that they've only punted 8 times this year, what do you set up since you're now in Trotwood territory?
Boy, it certainly feels like on 4th down here they're going to have a go at it.
On 4th downs this year, they are 52.5%. Rams showing blitz off the right side. Now a check with me back to the sideline.
Tried to draw them off sides initially. Looks like they're coming back for a play call.
2 by 3 again, empty set. And the throw is complete. Tyson Weaver in front of everybody for the score. On 4th and 3, they go right over the deep middle to Tyson Weaver from 42 yards, and we're pulling away from tying it up. That is now the 33rd touchdown pass this year for Owen Scalf. Tyson Weaver, who had a big touchdown, in fact, the game winner last year, gets his 18th touchdown reception this year. Have mercy. Maddox Snyder, the left footer, and they'll wave it off before they can go off.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense.
It's against the defense, and knowing that it's encroachment, you go for 2.
Boy, Jeff, every point matters tonight, and that extra point was no good. It looked like it went off the upright, so I don't see any movement yet. Could be an opportunity, you're right, to go for two with the short try.
Looking for Scalf to be out there if they do go. Now they're going to go for the conversion again. Out of the hold of Braden Moore, Cooper Kathman is the long snapper. Maddox Snyder is 40 of 43 on extra points and up and through. We are tied. 2:11 left to go here in Beckett Ridge. Tied up at 7 here on Spectrum News 1. Seven-play drive, 60 yards. It takes 1 minute and 2 seconds off the clock on 4th down. Scalf finds Weaver over the middle, and he ran away with it on the catch and run. 42 yards, extra points good. We are knotted up at 7 apiece. Partner, on that one, of that 7 plays, only 1 was a run, and that was the keeper by Scalf.
Tell you what, 4th and 3 to design a play like that. We saw a quick slant, right? Go to your go-to guy, stayed in there, made a great throw. Trotwood brought about 7 guys, and your guy made a play, took the slant to the house.
Return from the 2. And a reverse of direction, and Anderson wise to it. Return man will not make the 20.
Great coverage by Anderson, kickoff. Pinning Trotwood, looks like inside their 20.
Ron Foster could not make the 20, and with 2:04 left to go, we got a tie ball game. Big plays have accentuated this one as we have thought.
Absolutely. Big plays have been the summary so far, Jeff.
And the willingness to go for it on 4th down and not be conservative in a game that that, like you mentioned before the last timeout, every point will count. The run off the right side and into the clears the running back in a step away. Harrell got big yards out of that one, a pickup of nearly 20.
And Trotwood first down, heavy set. They hand the ball off to Harrell. He makes a really nice cut back to the weak side, gets vertical. I'll tell you what, Harrell's impressive so far with his legs.
Well, you'd expect no less from a young man averaging 8 yards a carry. Another run off that right side. Right now they're going behind Kieran Stroud at 270 and Elijah Appleberry at 255.
You feel like Trotwood-Madison at some point is setting up the quarterback keep on that inside zone action. They're handing the ball off, they're handing the ball off, they're handing the ball off. I would expect Dallas at some point to keep that back to the weak side opposite the running back.
We've seen multiple check with me's for Anderson. We haven't seen that tonight from Trotwood-Madison.
No, Trotwood's more of a huddle, call it, run it situation.
Twins to the left. They're showing blitz, and now a throw to the left. Harrell out there has nowhere to go. Kamari Ty, who had a monster game last week, in on the stop. Kamari had 10 tackles last week, and he had what ultimately turned out to be the game-saving interception with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th.
They really played the bubble route very, very well. They contained and then came up and made a big, big hit and a great tackle in open space.
By the way, before this gets away from us, happy birthday to Kamari. He just celebrated number 18 a few days ago.
A nice birthday present to win a region title.
On 3rd and 7, triplets to the right. And they motion Rogers. Rogers on the shallow cross, and now the quarterback in trouble, rolling to the right, still in trouble, and now has to get away with it. And I don't know if that's grounding or not. No sign of a flag, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, no flags there. If he had more time, he had Rogers on the crossing route. They tried to set him up, little short motion from number 2 receiver in, and they ran him across. Linebackers did a very nice job of rerouting the crossing route, and then they did lose Rogers as he crossed the field, but the pressure was too much. He didn't have time to drop the ball off to him. I would expect Trotwood to come back to that crossing route at some time.
Kamari ties the return man, and he's been very productive on special teams. 3 special teams touchdowns this year, 2 on returns, 1 off of landing in the end zone on a block kick. He's out at his own 34-yard line. And the punt is away. Ty will have to back up on it, but it takes an Anderson roll. And the ball comes dead out at the 31-yard line. 32-yard punt, nothing on the return, and no time on the clock left to go here in this opening quarter. Well, we have a block in the back, and it's against the return team, and we'll head to the second. Or will we have an untimed down? No, we'll head to the second. We're tied up at 7. Here on Spectrum News 1. Along with Nate Mahon, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Spectrum News 1. Mark Kennedy has the sights for you tonight as we exchange sides of the field. We had a penalty to end the first quarter. They're switching sides. And I'm trying to see if what they're trying to do, did they take yardage here and they're going to re-punt? Or they're just going to allow Anderson to go on offense? It looks like they're going to let the Raptors go on offense. So is this an untimed down? Because we should have switched sides of the field. Help me out. We're a little confused up here in the booth. Scalf with the deep drop. Now runs out of time, throws out to the right, looks for a safety valve, and complete out towards the 29-yard line.
Yeah, Jeff, the clock did not run. I assume that's an untimed down, and now we'll go to the second quarter.
To number 5, Jordan Davis.
And we will now head to the second. Officially, we're tied up at 7. That much is for sure between the 1 seed Anderson and the 3 seed Trotwood-Madison. This is the Region 8 championship game here on Spectrum News 1. Just about ready to start this second quarter here in Beckett Ridge. 7-all between the top seed Anderson and the 3 seed Trotwood-Madison.
Different formation for Anderson coming out. They have empty, but they do have a wing in there. So we've got quads to the left, 1 receiver back here.
And Scalf has it off the right side. Should have the first down. That's sleight of hand, partner, right? Because when you have 4 to the left, right, what do you think about? You want to shift all your defensive players out that way.
Sure, they're trying to outflank him that way. It looks like they tried to bring that wing back on a Q counter, and I don't think they got the first down.
They did not. Officially short. 3rd and call it less than 1, and they should have the first down this time. Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis, at 5'10", 195 pounds, a junior, averaging about 5 yards a carry, 19 touchdowns on the ground this year. A week ago, he was a little hobbled, and Coach Dreyer still felt like that. If he had 15 touches in him a week ago, they'd beat LaSalle, and they did. The throw out to the right, and complete out to the right. It's to Davis, the multi-purpose threat.
I think they picked it off, Jeff.
It's incomplete, and it's turned over to Trotwood-Madison.
Wow, what a play. I tell you what, that was right in front of us, and I could not tell who had the ball. And then the next thing I know, I looked up and the referee signaled in the other direction.
Jariah Zigo, beg your pardon, partner. Jariah Zigo on the takeaway. It looked like Davis had the catch along the sideline, and whether it was pulled out of him or Zigo getting it on a deflection, it's been turned over, and that's the first big turnover of the night, and it belongs to Trotwood-Madison.
He was obviously able to keep his feet in balance on top of everything, right? What a play.
Here's the run into the line. A nice way to get started here for Trotwood-Madison.
Number 9, Terry Hill, the ball carrier.
So Harrell for a few, a minute deep into the second quarter. Coming into this ball game, believe it or not, Anderson, as good as they are, undefeated in 12 tries, they are -1, now officially -2 in turnover differential for the year.
Yeah, usually that's a very telling stat. I'll be honest, I don't know what that stat's telling us about Anderson. They're such a great team, very explosive. That's an odd stat with the turnover margin.
After a pickup of 3 by Harrell, Sheehy looking deep, looking long, down the middle for Rogers, incomplete. There were a couple receivers down that way. Looked like Bozeman and Rogers down towards the end zone, but incomplete.
Same concept they tried to use before early in the game when it was 1st and 15 and they were behind the sticks going the other direction. Play action, they're trying to run a double post. Double post is usually good against man coverage. They had him singled up again, but they overshot him. I would look to see Trotwood continue to try to use that play action double post for big plays.
Well, the deep middle has been open, and you do have a backup safety in the game starting tonight in Gerard Lindsay. He's been a really good nickel back or an extra defensive back for Evan Dreyer, but he's been pressing the service to start. It's Sheehy with time. Now checks it down. It's to the tight end. And he has it well inside the red zone, across the 20 and move the chains. Justice Taylor.
First time we've called Justice Taylor's name. They've used him a lot tonight so far to block in that 21 personnel big set. They did a nice job of slipping him across the formation to the wide field and just dumping it off to him. Anderson lost coverage.
Pickup of 23. How would you like to have a tight end at Justice Taylor, who got his 20th catch, average 15 yards a reception for the year?
Seems like they know how to use him at the right time, Jeff.
Twins to the left with 10 to play here in this first half. Another run, but Anderson meets him at the line. Kuhn, the first one in there.
He was tackled by number 26, Landon Edwards.
Edwards officially on the stop to bring up second down, no gain. Or a gain of 1.
Second down, 09.
Harrell in the backfield, and he'll get the ball. And he is spun around, and he'll be dropped for a loss. Outstanding penetration for.
They are playing super fast. They are playing super aggressive on defense. Great penetration, like you said.
Looked like Nick Pastura sniffed it out from the get-go. Third and 10. There's a loss of 1 after forward progress. Rogers is a slot to the left. Triplets to the left. They empty out the backfield.
Look for a crosser here.
Sheehy in trouble, rolls out of trouble, looks for the corner, and it's incomplete.
Boy, in that empty set, Rogers came all the way from the left side of the formation, all the way across the field. He was covered initially, and then looked like he got open there as Dallas took off with his legs. I wouldn't be surprised if Trotwood goes for it here on 4th and 10.
Well, they don't really have what you call a strong kicking game. Andrew Thornton does not have a field goal attempt officially this year.
Probably going for it then, huh?
Yeah, they are prone, in fact, to go attack on 4th down, much like Anderson. 4th and 10. Sheehy out of the gun. With time, harass and drop. There's a turnover on down. And a big stop for Anderson. Reed Baker. And while Trotwood-Madison has benefited from a turnover on downs the other way has helped out Anderson tonight.
Yeah, credit Nick Schmidt, their defensive coordinator. Really drew up a great blitz. They brought just one more than they could block, and they got home. Great play by the Anderson defense.
Ball's at the 30-yard line, and that's 1st and 10 for Anderson. Looking right, rolls right, throws deep middle, and it is incomplete. Out at the 35-yard line into double coverage. It looked like Karan Foster, the senior defensive back, had a little better angle on it to bring up second down.
Yeah, taking a shot on 1st down. Well covered by Trotwood.
Braden Moore was the intended receiver down the field. His biggest play a week ago was taking the handoff and throwing an option pass to seal the game last week against LaSalle. And the running play brings up third down.
Nice run by Jordan Davis, getting a lot of yards back, brings up a third and manageable.
Does a deep throw like that just loosen up the defense automatically where you can have a second down run and get big yards?
For sure, yep. Especially when they're dropping 2 over 1 there.
Another empty backfield look. Triplets left, twins to the right. And the fake, and a nice reload, and Scalf gets the first down.
Yeah, well-designed play there. They went empty. Scalf acted like he was throwing the bubble. The Mike linebacker took off running, and then now you're blocking 4 with 5 there. So good play.
Scalf scored on an empty middle a week ago in the second quarter. And the deep ball out to the right side for Weaver, incomplete. He was covered very well out there by Jariah Zigo, who got the last interception on the last drive, but it's incomplete.
Number 16, Jariah Zigo.
Yeah, the closer you get to midfield, I'm sure Coach Dreyer's thinking we can take a shot on first down. You're probably going to go for it on fourth down anyway, right? So you can take a shot on first down like that.
They have only punted 8 times this whole year. 8. The run, the keeper by the quarterback to bring up third down. He didn't get much.
Got a flag on the play.
It's going to be against Trotwood-Madison. Tonight's head official is Chris Beckstead. Move the chains. Those big penalties, the big 15-yarders, partner, you know what it's like when you're doing everything you can to contain an opposing offense, and then somebody on your defense commits a big 15-yarder. How do you reset?
Yeah, that's a first down and a half, right? So on a night like tonight, it just feels like every yard, every first down matters. You got to play the next play. That's the way you can handle it.
Empty backfield. It's Scalf looking left, throwing out to the sideline, complete out at the 30-yard line. Is that Weaver? It was Cooper Kaufman. Cooper Kaufman got it.
Couldn't tell if that was by design or not, but Kaufman really did a nice job of seeing the ball underthrown, throw behind him. The DB kept on running. He stopped, caught the ball in the air, made a really nice gain.
You know, you can't call it back shoulder because it wasn't, but not your typical stop route like you were mentioning.
It sounds really good when you call it back shoulder. We'll go with that.
They motion Davis into a slot to the left and empty out the backfield for Scalf. Snap Scalf. With time, he wants the home run. He's got it for Weaver for the score. Or is he out of bounds? He is in. Touchdown, 13-7. Anderson with the lead. The second one for Weaver tonight.
Well, they got Weaver matched up one-on-one on a safety. They came back to that inside fade route. No help over top. Really, really nice ball. And then Weaver just comes down with it, makes an exceptional play. But again, you're getting man-to-man with your best player in space.
The lefty, Maddox Snyder, kicks it through, and we'll head to a timeout. 6:57 left to go. Anderson has taken a 14-7 lead here in Beckett Ridge. It's a Division II Region 8 championship game here on Spectrum News 1. Seven-play drive, 70 yards. The capper, the 25-yarder to Weaver. The second tonight on the hookup between Scalf and Weaver. Point after good. And it's a new score here in Beckett Ridge at 14-7. Good return here for Trotwood-Madison. Want to close things up on that last drive. It took a minute 21 off the clock, though I think the big play, oddly enough, I know the touchdown was really pretty, especially from the opposite hash line. I think the thing that got me was the 15-yarder to keep the drive going.
And it did, because they had stuffed the quarterback run on that particular play, so they were coming up with, I think, 3rd and 9. And so instead of that, it's automatic first down, 15 yards, and then a big play later. Now we're 14-7 Anderson.
Anderson has the lead. This is their biggest scoring quarter. Now with 2 touchdowns. They had one back in the first, so they now have 184 points in second quarters this year. And a run to start things off for a couple of yards. 184 to 61. That is a massive differential of 123.
I'd like to see Trotwood-Madison come out with play-action pass on first and or second down. Time after time, we've seen that same formation, same run play on first down. Anderson's doing a great job stopping it, but then they're putting themselves behind the chains with 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. It'd be interesting to see if they make an adjustment and start throwing the ball with a play action on first or second down.
6:13 left to go here in this opening half. The top seed has the lead on 2nd and 9. Sheehy throws left and off the hands of Bozeman. I think it got him between the numbers.
Great coverage out there. Looked like even if he would have caught the pass, Alston would have had him wrapped up pretty quickly for no gain. Brings up 3rd and long.
And out there is Ace Alston, the 4-star prospect out on that side. So he's got Bozeman here. Something that you had mentioned as we were talking through this game prior to the start of it is the deep middle might be open. Do you look for it to be open here on 3rd and 9?
You know, I think the shallow crossers have been good so far. Anderson with blitzing seems to have let a couple of crossers go. There you go.
And it's to Rogers, should have the first down. Reed Baker was blitzing off the right end, was a step late, and that gave Sheehy plenty of time to find Rogers.
Looks like Trotwood, again, is having some success just going where the linebackers have vacated. Simply put, the linebackers are blitzing a lot, and then they're just running guys at 5 to 10 yards right behind the linebackers, having some success there. What I'd like to see is them do that on 1st and 2nd down as opposed to wait until 3rd down to do it.
Zaire Fields, who had been in the ballgame, checks out. Now he comes back in. I think he just got the play. They don't have a big roster on Trotwood-Madison. Sometimes you just got to go when you got to go, and I think we got a timeout. And we do. It's charged to Trotwood-Madison. We'll step aside 2 and catch our breaths. 5:26 left to go till halftime. 14-7 Anderson. It's the Region 8 championship game here on Spectrum News 1. Coming into this ball game, Owen Scalf was just 118 yards away from reaching 4,000 passing yards for the year. I think he's got it now, and he'll now be in a lineage here for Anderson. 3 quarterbacks over 4 years, in each of the last 4 years, including this one, to get to 4,000.
I'm impressed with him. Obviously, we've seen him during the season, but as the competition has gotten better, I respect his moxie. He does a nice job of hanging there in the pocket, taking what the defense gives you, and knowing the different situations of, okay, do we try to take the big play here, or are we just going to take what the defense gives you? He does a really nice job of protecting the ball. I thought that was a heck of a play on the interception by the Trotwood player. He actually made the right throw to the running back out of the backfield, but very impressed with Owen Scalf so far.
By the way, the number 1 passer in terms of yards in the entire state, Sidney Lehman Catholic's Turner Lachey. He came in with 4,990 yards.
That's a lot of passes.
We resume action on 1st and 10 out of the 34-yard line. And Davis. And he breaks away into the clear, out towards midfield and out of bounds. He broke contain right past the line of scrimmage and got 10 more and moved the chains for Anderson.
I tell you what, as impressed as I am with Owen Scalf on Anderson's office, Terry Harrell he's been a workhorse stud so far. I mean, the amount of broken tackles he has made and then just continues to just keep those legs churning. He's been impressive so far with his runs. Looks like they have him stop behind the line multiple times and just breaks tackles and keeps on running.
Harrell's been a workhorse tonight. He comes left. The reset by Sheehy, and now Anderson showing blitz. They throw out to Rogers in traffic out on the sideline. Stop and go at the 30. Cuts back out to the 25-yard line. Still pushing forward across the 20. Big leg power to get Trotwood-Madison back in the red zone.
Well, Jeff, they are given a huge cushion out there to Rogers. It was almost like the corner was 10 yards off. They took the hitch. It looked like for the first time Trotwood was in like a check with me situation like you see Anderson's offense, but about 10 yards off there, they threw a hitch, and Rogers made a heck of a play with his legs after the catch. Would like to see Anderson's DB scoot up a little bit and not give them that free entry pass.
Fishy at the 16, 1st and 10. Here off to the side, Sheehy in trouble, breaks out of trouble, looks to throw it away out to the sideline. One thing's been sure tonight. When Sheehy's gone to his right in trouble, Anderson has responded and responded well.
Yeah, on that particular play, they had ran hitch a couple of times, so they tried to set up the big play with a hitch and go. It was covered very well by Anderson, and then the pass rush got there, and he's outside the pocket, so in high school football, you can throw it away like that. So Trotwood tried to step up with a big play there. Anderson responded with great defense.
4:46 left to go here in this first half.
You got to think this is back to the run game with Harrell.
It's over the head of Sheehy. He'll have to dive on it. At least you retain possession, but boy, he'll bring up 3rd and very long. You need the 6 for the line to gain. You're out at the 26, 3rd and 20. What's in your bag of tricks here? As I think we have a timeout.
Jeff, I'm thinking, as we talked about before, without a field goal kicker or threat, you're probably trying to get half the yards, knowing you're going to go for it on 4th down again. I'd like to see them come back to Justice, the tight end, and some sort of crossing route. That's worked. I think you can probably throw a quick hitch to the outside. That's worked well. Or you just live with handing the ball off to Terrell and see if you can get half of the yards and play 4th down.
Something to bring up, because we're 4:40 away from halftime. When leading at the half, and right now, if you're Trotwood-Madison, you've got to get a score here, and maybe you're going for 2 anyways, but you need another score on top of that in some form or fashion. Trotwood-Madison at the half when leading is 8-0, but they are also, by proxy, 0-3 when behind after 24 minutes. Anderson, they've only been behind once this year. That was Week 9 against Winton Woods.
That's a telling stat for them to be undefeated when leading and then obviously not when they're behind. I would look to see Trotwood try to get half of these yards here. They're in a spread set. Try to get half of these yards. You might see Dallas take off and run with his legs, knowing they're probably going to go for it on 4th down.
Twins to the left. They'll empty out the backfield. Looking deep middle and complete. And they find Rogers, and to your point, they're going with your philosophy. Cut the field in half, the yardage in half, and it'll make it 4th and relatively usable.
Hey, you figure in this scenario, the ball's on the 15. Even if you don't pick up the 1st down or score, you're at least pinning Anderson back late in this first half.
The last time we had a 4th down, it was a turnover on downs. Anderson stiffened. We'll see what they do here on 4th and 10 at the 16. Again, they need the 6. Sheehy gets. Clean pocket, throws middle, incomplete. Ball might have been deflected in the defensive backfield, and it's another turnover on downs for Anderson.
I think
Mark Madden
got his hand on that baby, Jeff. And to your point, Madden was in great coverage and good shape there regardless, but I think Reed Baker got his hands on there. Anderson dropped a lot of guys out. Looked like it was the same play from the 3rd down play. Tried to get that bender route over the middle of the field. Great defense by Anderson.
And a big, long drive, and it comes up with snake eyes for Trotwood-Madison. A couple of 4th down misses, and so far, aside from the big scoring plays tonight, that's the story of the game. The run to the right to get started.
Yeah, Jeff, to your point, Trotwood comes up with a couple of big plays, obviously scores a touchdown. Anderson seems to be winning the play that matters the most, right? Anderson seems to be having their big playmakers make the plays when it matters the most so far.
And the play to the right. Weaver still on his feet.
Owen Scalf did a nice job there of recognizing that Weaver was uncovered, ripped the ball out to him quick, got the ball in space to him. He made a nice play with his legs after the catch, getting the first down.
They'll go right to the line. The throwback screen. Weaver again, but he's getting nothing.
Tell you what, Trotwood has, their defensive line has really played the screen game very well. So you teach your D linemen to retrace their steps when they see the offensive lineman disappear and you can sniff out screen. The defensive line is coached very, very well for Trotwood. They keep retracing their steps and taking away Anderson's screen game so far.
You said Weaver, I think that was Cooper Kathman, and it's 2nd down and 11, and the keeper by the quarterback with 2:45 left to go here in this first half. If you're Anderson, you want to tack on in some form or fashion, go up by 2 scores.
Tackle by number 5, Cam Martinez.
Got a timeout here by Trotwood. Looks like to catch their breath. This is a big play coming up. It looks like they're probably outside of go-for-it range on 4th down, 3rd and 7. You know, if you get a stop here, you could get the ball back with probably a short field. I don't think Anderson would go for it if they're outside of 5 yards here.
This is the 21st appearance in the playoffs for Trotwood-Madison. The Rams have won their region 10 times. Now, the last time coming in 2019, they did win state that year. They'd also won the region 8 years in a row from 2010 to 17. The Rams have won, again, in 2011, 2017, and 2019. Anderson is making it their 18th appearance in the playoffs. The winner of 4 region titles, including the last 2 here in Region 8, and they won their lone state title in 2007. So a lot of history, a lot of pedigree for both programs. And we talked with Geoff Graham prior to this ball game. A lot of pride, and he has really expressed the desire to keep his team very well disciplined and focused, and they've looked good.
Yeah, I think the neat thing about Trotwood and Anderson, I got obviously 2 great public school programs. These teams play the best in Ohio, and they also play the best in the neighboring states. They can play with anybody in the state. Both of these programs can.
Scalf out of the timeout, looking right, throwing over the middle. Kathman has it. A little shallow cross short of the first down. And we'll see if they go for it here on 4th. Or if it'll be another quick punt. It's 4th and 1. I would think they go. Another check with me out to Evan Dreyer out on the sideline.
Be a handoff to Webster.
Still a check with me. 12 on the play clock, so plenty of time.
They're going to run this down here all the way.
They're going to call for a timeout, and they do. So we'll step aside 2. 1:50 left to go here till halftime. 14-7, Anderson with the lead here on Spectrum News 1. The OHSAA State Championships return to Canton and to the Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium once again. Join Spectrum News 1, your exclusive home for the OHSAA Championships beginning on Thursday, December 4th, for coverage of all 7 title games through Saturday, December 6th. It's all on Spectrum News 1, your home for high school sports. Along with Nate Mahon, Nate the Great, I'm Geoff Kim. Glad to have you along here tonight for this Region 8 final on Spectrum News 1. Mark Kennedy has your sights on this one. You're chopping at the bit, partner. 4th and 1. What do you do here?
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm probably a little bit more conservative. I like the way the half has gone for Anderson. I feel like we're going to just quick kick this thing and play some defense and get out of here a score above, but I don't know that Coach Dreyer's going to do that.
You got 4 to the right. If they're going to quick punt this is a weird thing. They're going to show it over the middle. Kathman sits down for the first down. 3 steps inside, right down the seam, or inside of it, and they move the chains.
Yeah, it looks like when Anderson runs that quads receiver set, they're cutting loose and not covering the innermost man.
Weaver cuts loose, speaking of, and he gains a few. Out to the 48-yard line. Or is that Kathman again? You're going to have to forgive these old eyes up here in the booth. Your picture on the video is a little bit better than the eyes of the broadcaster here, and they get a first down. So they're moving fast with 1:18 left to go.
Regan Jalek.
So Jalek gets a catch to move the chains, 1st and 10, out at the 46-yard line.
Mike Keith.
The good news is the rain has officially stopped here in Beckett Ridge. They look out to the left side, Weaver, and he'll be caught down in the backfield for a loss.
Tyson Weaver.
Good coverage there by Trotwood. Anderson's in a lot of empty sets. A lot of man-to-man on defense right now. Trotwood there with a nice play to put him behind the chains on 2nd down.
Looking long, throwing to the right, and complete out to the right, short of the 1st down. It's to Moore, who's going to play baseball at the next level. Outstanding player, but he's, I guess, filling time here to play football.
Nice to see him playing both sports and playing both sports at a very high level. That's what high school sports should be all about. He really receives the ball very well as a receiver. I'm sure he's a very good baseball player.
And they throw for a 1st down. Weaver in double coverage, but he found a little inside track right at the seam. Dropped by Cam Martinez, but they moved the chains again. And another timeout, and we're talking about two-sport athletes. Braden Moore is a really good one. I'm up here in the booth with a really good one. I'm going to brag about your baseball exploits for just about half a second. Hamilton Hall of Famer. And, of course, Miami University alum. And that, of course, brought you into coaching at the high school level around here, most notably Little Miami right now. So I got to tell you, there's something to be said about being able to do multiple things, because as a head coach, what do you do all the time? You're doing multiple things.
Well, I tell you what, Jeff, I appreciate that, but I also got to give a return shout out. The level of preparation that you showed me for this week and what we have in front of us is second to none. I appreciate that and respect that, because there's so much preparation that goes into a football game that people don't see.
Right.
And the amount of preparation that you produced for this week, very, very impressive, and I appreciate that. Back to you.
Nate, back at you, man. I appreciate you. It's like, in fact, the funny thing, we'll share this, we'll kind of break the fourth wall and tell you how the sausage is made. Both separately, Nate and I contacted Coach Graham with Trotwood-Madison because we both felt the need for that conversation. Scalf out of the timeout, throws over the middle. Kaufman has it. Out to the 25-yard line, and they're really moving now with 30 seconds left to go. 36 seconds, now coming down to 30. And the quick throw to the left. It's Davis. Out to the sideline, out towards the 12-yard line. By the way, the Raptors have no timeouts left, so they're going to have to hurry up.
Davis really catches the ball very well in space. Not just a good runner, but a very good receiver as well.
Oh, then a little reverse. We'll see if Kaufman throws, and it's picked off. Out towards the 10-yard line.
Pass intercepted by number 21.
Oh, my goodness.
Major Dewberry, a backup defensive back. So the nickel back, the sophomore, gets the turnover and snuffs out the drive with 11 seconds left to go.
That looked like, Jeff, it was the old Philly special, and Trotwood did a really good job of covering the corner route back here on the back right side of the end zone, and I don't know what happened. It looked like he kind of just panicked and threw it directly to a Trotwood defender. This thing's going to be 14-7 at halftime. What a first half of football.
Amazing. Punctuated by big plays to the end zone on passes. A couple of touchdown throws tonight by Owen Scalf, and they have the lead. Anderson does. The top seed Raptors have a 14-7 lead over the 3-seed Trotwood-Madison Rams. We'll take a timeout for the halftime. When we return, we'll break down the first half and look ahead to half number 2 when we return on Spectrum News 1. We're just mere moments away from the start of this second half. 14-7, Anderson is leaving. Here in this one over the 3-seed Trotwood-Madison. Along with Nate Mahon, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Spectrum News 1. Mark Kennedy has the sights for you here tonight. We'll give you a quick scoring rundown before we bring back in the head coach here. It was a 7-0 lead for Trotwood-Madison. On a long touchdown pass with about 9.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter, point after good. It went from Sheehy to Rogers. And beg your pardon, did we say 9.5? 3.5 minutes left to go, 7-0. And then just about a minute later, it was Scalf setting things up with Weaver on a 42-yard touchdown pass on 4th down. Extra point good, and with 2:11 left to go in the first, we were tied up at 7. And right now the go-ahead score came with 6:57 left to go till halftime. It was Scalf finding Weaver again, this time from 25 yards, point after good, and we are at our score of 14-7. Coach, in fact, as we look back to this one, the passing game has accounted for all the scoring tonight. Do you expect that to change here in half number 2?
Well, the rain has stopped, so no. If it's possible to have more passing, I think we're going to have more passing. I've been super impressed with Owen Scalf. There's obviously a relationship built there with him and Weaver. They trust each other. Big-time players make big-time plays. That's what Anderson's doing on offense. Now, I really respect the Trotwood run game. I think Harrell's having a great game. He's doing a nice job on the ground. They just haven't punched it into score when they had the ball down in the red zone. Big play down here right before half that didn't lead to any points for Anderson. It'll be interesting to see what happens coming out. Anderson's getting the ball. If Anderson marches down the field, that could be it. Trotwood steps up and gets a stop coming out. Could mean a different story. So, great first half of football so far. Kind of wild, but it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, a couple of turnovers. Of course, a couple things that I note here. You've had a couple of long drives by Trotwood-Madison that ended in turnover on downs. And to me, that has been as big a difference in this ball game as the passing game has been from a scoring standpoint. Some scores to pass along. Big Walnut in Region 7 leading Massillon 17-14. So the winner of this one will take on the winner of that game. And right now, if things stand up, it's going to be Anderson and Big Walnut for a rematch of last year's state semifinal in Division 2. Set to kick things away. Anderson will receive and attack the north end. It's a short kick taken from the 20. It's Mahon, has a seam, and nearly broke away. Out to the 35-yard line. Good return to get things started for the Raptors.
Yeah, I think people don't appreciate how hard that is to field a ball on the ground like that that's moving. In addition, a wet ball like that on a kickoff return. Anderson's had a nice job of fielding the kickoff return and getting yards that they can out near the 40 again.
We'll have to find out if Mark Madden plays any baseball, if he can play up the middle as a shortstop or a second baseman, as Scalf takes it himself. And we'll bring upon this point as he gains a couple. The reason why is if you go back to last week's game, Madden on the 50-yard punt return for a touchdown, fielded on a high hop. He broke contain right at the 50, and then once he found the outside, he had enough wheels to go, but it still made me think he might be able to play some second base or shortstop.
You've seen that Sunday hop before, huh?
Yes, and it was a big, nice Sunday hop. Kaufman has been busy, and he gets the first reception of the second half.
He was tackled by number 6, Mike Keith. First down, Raptors.
Yeah, if you're Anderson, you like these 3rd and 1s and 2s every time.
They called for the first down on the PA, but it is 3rd and short. And the reverse. Nice sleight of hand for the first down. And the breakaway. Out to the sideline and nearly broke it. Davis with the big run and a big play to start things off here in half number 2.
Really like the play call, sprint draw. Made it look like, again, sprint out down here to the field. Davis took the handoff going the other direction. Trotwood over pursued to get him about 7 yards. The rest was Davis's legs breaking some tackles.
1st and 10 on a pickup of 32. Check with me by Scalf. They want to go up by 2 scores. Triplets to the right. They're back in the red zone, and the quarterback keeping it. Do you think ball control, managing the clock when you have a score and a lead over Trotwood-Madison, even now, do you think about managing the clock?
Yeah, I think Coach Dryers probably has it in his head. We didn't want to have a turnover the way we did right before the half. I would expect them to be a little bit more conservative, trying to control the ball here and get it into the end zone this time around.
Moore and Kaufman out to the right, looking right, throwing right for Kaufman. He has it for the score. 20-7 on a third touchdown pass tonight by Owen Scalf.
Similar to the inside fade route earlier in the game that they scored going the same direction. You had the inside receiver basically man-to-man again, and he ran a corner route, just broke to the corner. Scalf threw a very nice, safe ball. I like the safe play call there. Really threw a nice ball, give your guy a chance. Went up and caught the ball very well against man-to-man coverage.
Here's Maddox Snyder. He kicks it on through, and we got a brand new score here in Beckett Ridge, a 2-score lead for the top seed Anderson. This is the Region 8 championship game here on Spectrum News 1. 5-play drive, 61 yards to Capper, 14 yards from Scalf. His third touchdown pass of the night, give him 35 on the year. He finds Cooper Kathman, his 7th of the season, and the brand new score after the point after. It is 21-7. We did see a 5-play drive on 61 yards. They chewed up yardage in a hurry, thanks to Davis in the big long run.
Yeah, big run. I like the sprint draw look on that situation, giving the ball to Davis. Again, Trotwood over pursued. And then, Coach Dreyer's really going into his bag of man-beating routes and hit another inside receiver on a safety for a touchdown.
Here's the return. Mike Keith up the seam, has room out to the side and out to midfield. Mike Keith, the starting return man, and boy, he came up nearly huge. He was looking for his third return for a touchdown this year and gives Trotwood-Madison well-needed field position here on their first drive of the second half.
Mike Keith is a very good special teams player. He had the punt return earlier. He's picked up a lot of first downs in the kick game right now at a time where Trotwood really needed it.
Trotwood-Madison takes over 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line.
See if Trotwood comes out and throws the ball on first or second down.
Sheehy will see if Anderson brings pressure. It's a run. Good start. You had extolled Terry Harrell's virtues well through halftime, and he has shown up big in this ball game, and he starts them off well on 2nd and short.
Tackle made by number 20, J-Rod Lindsay.
An official stop, and we have an injured player out on the field. We'll hold things right here, and we'll pass along some other scores as we last had them. We mentioned the big Walnut score and Massillon. Wash Jesuit, which is the only team to beat Trotwood-Madison from the state of Ohio this year, has a 14-0 lead over Hoban, and Hoban's the top seed out in that part of, I believe, in that region. Is it 6 or 5? But it's Walsh Jesuit with the lead. Wayne and Middletown just up the road. They're playing at Trotwood, in fact, scoreless at halftime, which is a surprise. And maybe just as equally a surprise, over at Paycor Stadium, Elder and St. X in a brawl. 27-21 Elder with a 6-point lead at the half.
It's a lot of points. I didn't have the over in that one. It's a lot of points. Yeah, the Hoban score is a surprising one too, right?
Yep.
Walsh is very good. They got an exceptional running back, one of the best running backs in the state, but Hoban's awfully good as well, so that's probably the most surprising. Looks like we had an injury to 33 Holt.
We did.
Inside linebacker, so we'll keep an eye on what that looks like in the box on Anderson's defensive front.
Looks like James Schnurstein will come on in, and he's been a change of pace guy. He can play up on the line, he can play linebacker, he attacks the defensive backfield. A half dozen tackles for loss this year in part-time play for Schnurstein. He showed up big a week ago against LaSalle, and they're showing pressure up front on 2nd and short. Flag on the play, and they're going to bring this one back.
Flag on the play.
First down for Trotwood. Looks like it's encroachment on the defense.
Defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Got to ask you this one, Coach. When it's encroachment, why stop the play?
Sometimes you're unevaded directly to the ball carrier or the quarterback, and then it becomes a safety issue.
So 1st and 10, the easy way out of the 37-yard line for Trotwood-Madison. Harrell has really gone the distance here in this ball game. The bigger back between him and Dalen Dennis. Dalen's a little bit more of a home run threat, but Harrell can run. Looking deep, home run down the field, and it's picked off out at the 10-yard line. They were looking for Rogers down the middle, and that might have been the adjustment that Anderson made at halftime. Mark Madden came up huge just now.
Yeah, Trotwood, every snap so far of the second half, they've gone with two tights, but they've evened up Anderson, where they have two tight ends and flankers on both sides. They ran just a single post. Unfortunately, he threw it right to the safety who was standing there.
To your point, if we were thinking about this at the next levels, right, college and the pro, you're thinking about max protect and that single route there. It looked like Rogers or nobody.
Yeah, it looked like there was just two guys in the route, and Anderson sniffed it out all the way. They had coverage underneath and over top of both receivers, it looked like.
Kathman gets him started off with a catch on this drive. 8:44 to go here in this third period. And the Raptors looking to tack on. They have a 2-score lead. How comfortable, and I say how comfortable, right? I know that you're never comfortable as a head coach until you win the game, but how comfortable are you right now if you're Evan Dreyer?
Yeah, I think 2 scores is fine. Trotwood is still a big play offense. They're very capable of scoring very quickly. I think you get up 3 scores, I think it's a little bit more comfortable. 2 you don't feel great about just yet, especially with the ball deep in your own side of the field.
Davis right into the line, close to a first down, should have it. We're looking at the far sideline, Judge, and they will move the chains. There's a little delay on calling it a first down, but they will move the chains. And again, to your point here, as we think about Evan Dreyer and his strategy, how much more running do you do now with 2 scores?
I think it's important, especially after last week having a big lead, right, and having LaSalle come back. You don't want to just give up on everything that you've done to get you this point. So maybe a mix of both. You don't want to just start being super conservative, and maybe no trick plays per se, but I would stick with the short passing game, the intermediate passing game that's lent itself well, especially if Trotwood stays in too high. They can't cover everybody, and they're taking what the defense gives them right now.
Incomplete to Braden Moore, 2nd and 10, 3 to the right. Looking with time, Scalf unleashes down the sideline, complete out at midfield. A beauty out there to Tegan Jalick.
Yeah, they went quads to the field, and that gave him the one-on-one with Jalick to the boundary. He took the one-on-one, and nice throw and catch.
Out to the 48, a 31-yard catch and run for Tegan Jalick and move the chains. Anderson's driving. They feel like they got something here in the third. Looking right, throwing right, and it is to Weaver, the touchdown maker who breaks away for a first down. Out to the sideline to the 30, and needed another step to get to pay dirt. But it's another big gainer for Anderson. Weaver gained or crossed the 1,000-yard mark a week ago. He's trying to get to 1,200 tonight. That's how well he's played so far.
I'll tell you what, it looks like Trotwood's starting to get a little tired for the first time tonight.
Scalf throws out. Davis left, breaks, contain, out to the sideline, 20, 15, and out to the sideline. And to your point, right now, Anderson's running with pace.
Run out of bounds by 0, Armani Rogers.
3 to the right. Anderson sniffing blood in the water like sharks. The toss out to the left and incomplete, out on the sideline, and they're going to call it complete, a catch.
The pass was complete to number 12,
It's to Jalick, who had the long catch and run just a minute ago. He gets this one, and it's 1st and goal. Out at the 3-yard line. Here they go. Here's Scalf out to the right. He'll keep it himself out to the goal line for the score. Or short of it. They're going to call him short about a half a yard.
Number 8, Owen Scalf on the quarterback keeper.
Boy, Scalf really put his head down to try to score there. That was a tough play. He took a big hit. Give him credit for being physical and trying to run downhill.
6:45 left to go. You go up by 3 scores, the complexion of the game completely changes.
Yeah, you feel like this has got to be Davis all the way, right?
Davis to the goal line, short of it. Big push out on that left side of that Trotwood line.
The ball carrier.
Brings up a big third down. Give Trotwood credit for the last couple of snaps. Bending but not breaking on the goal line.
Official timeout.
We got an official stop. An injured player out on the field, and we'll step aside too. 6:21 left to go here in this third period. 21-7 Anderson here on Spectrum News 1. Coming back for the timeout, Landon Edwards was the injured party. He is hobbling off the field and will resume play. 3rd and goal from the 1. You think it's a keeper by Scalf, or maybe do you give it to Davis, or do you really have the nerve to go past it on 3rd and this short?
Well, I tell you what, it's got to be 2-down territory, right? That's number 1. I really like just giving it to Davis, but in the same breath, Trotwood's defensive front is really, really good.
They're going to put Tanner Holt in the backfield, or they put him into a wing to a left, so a little bit of a bigger package here. And Davis, no! Trotwood-Madison has stopped him on 3rd down, and Jariah Zigo in on the stop.
Jeff, it actually looks like they lost a yard, so it looks like they're moving it back to the 2-yard line. Big play in the game.
And they're going to stay out on the field. They feel like if they're going to go up by 3 scores, why not the big 3 scores? Touchdown! Owen Scalf finds Holt to the sideline, and it's 27-7. Have mercy.
Well, they faked the same run play 2 times in a row that they ran. Little pop pass by the wing, just slid right through. No one touched them. Touchdown, Anderson.
They actually set up the touchdown on that last play. They brought in Holt as a blocking back, or a short tight end, if you will, on the last run play, and then thinking that he was going to stay in the block again, they moved him out into the flat, and he was wide open. Point after is up and through, 28-7. Anderson's in control here in the 3rd, here on Spectrum News 1. Along with Nate Mahon, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Spectrum News 1. Mark Kennedy is our babysitter tonight. 12-play drive, 90 yards. It took 3 minutes and 20 seconds off the clock. And another touchdown pass, the 4th tonight for Scalf. This time he found Tanner Holt, who doesn't normally play offense. Point after is good, and we got a brand new score at 28-7. How about that last play?
Yeah, you know, Trotwood, to their credit, stuffed the run on the 1-yard line multiple times, and then they just faked the same run, handoff to Davis, and slid Holt through the backfield. No one touched him. Easy toss on the dump play.
Short kickoff, it rolls out of bounds, and if nothing else for Trotwood-Madison, they get really nice field position to start off this drive, but they really need to get something going, knowing that the only touchdown that they put up on the board back in the first quarter was a false start, what looked like a false start from Trotwood. They played on, no flag, and they found in the deep middle Rogers for the long touchdown. That has been it. Otherwise, Anderson has contained the defensive backfield.
Yeah, to me, the difference in the game so far has been scoring in the red zone. Anderson has capitalized when they got the ball inside the red zone. Trotwood's had it a couple times and has only came away with 1 touchdown.
And we're prone to seeing Anderson going on runs. A week ago, it was a 35-0 run in the second quarter to really seal the game against LaSalle, and a few yards to start things off on first down. If you think back to a week ago for Anderson, they got a punt return from Mark Madden, a long touchdown run from Owen Scalf, a short touchdown run from Davis, a pick 6 that went to Gerard Lindsey, and then the capper of the game, with about 2 minutes left to go in the second, was a long 50-yarder to Tyson Weaver. And that was it. Other than that 8 minutes, LaSalle actually dominated that game, but in those 8 minutes, Anderson was unstoppable, and that was enough.
Yeah, they can certainly score in bunches. Trotwood's going to need some sort of response quickly.
So the flag, and they'll bring this one back. And way back. And in fact, I didn't see any tugging of the face mask.
Correction, second down.
But I'm looking at where they're spotting this now.
Yeah, there was some extracurricular after that play. It was kind of hard to see what exactly happened, but nonetheless, 15-yard personal foul after the play. A long way to go.
He gives Harrell the burst of speed across the 30.
Terry Harrell, the ball carrier.
There's a lot to like about Terry Harrell. As we mentioned, 8 yards per carry throughout the course of the year. That's not a mirage. Those are 8 legitimate yards per carry. On 3rd and 13, they really need to pick this one up. They need to get to midfield to convert. Out at the 38-yard line. Anderson showing blitz off the corners. Harrell has a few out to the original line of scrimmage. And what do you do here on 4th down? Is it time to go for it, or you to punt it away?
I just don't think you can go for it just yet. I think you got to punt and you got to play the long game. It's still early enough. If you go for it and don't get it right here and they score again, unfortunately, I think the game would be over. I think you got to punt and live to see another couple of downs.
So the pressure's on the defense, or by proxy, special teams right now. And if you remember back to when we talked to Coach Graham prior to the ball game, he needed special teams to be special tonight. Appleberry to punt it away. Kamari Ty, the newly minted 18-year-old, collects out at the 12-yard line, angles back towards the 20.
I tell you what, that was a risky decision to field that ball at this point in the game, up by so much. I'd like to see him just fair catch it or get out of the way. Credit Trotwood, great punt, great coverage though.
Yep.
Even more the reason to go ahead and punt and not go for it there. Give yourself a chance.
54-yard punt, 10 on the return, and it's 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. And to your point, while it's wise to concede the field position, turn over the field, and play defense, if you're Anderson, you are sniffing blood in the water right now.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a couple of runs, short passes, and then maybe a trick play or a shot play coming up here. See if they could just go ahead and bury him.
They motion Davis back into the line and now back outside, and they set it up. Little tunnel screen. Well, I don't know if it's really a tunnel screen. They did have the receiver catch it in the middle, and that might be Kathman again.
Complete to number 3, Cooper Kathman.
So Kathman, again, another reception. He's been doing a great job working underneath tonight.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of just taking the space, what they see in the receivers. Again, you saw it again right there. The safety's high. They got 2 safeties high. There's about 5 to 7 yards of space, and they're just taking the space and catching it, throwing it, turning around, catching the hitch. Another first down on a short pass.
Kathman, another catch. If you remember back in the first half when it was 4th and short, and it was Kathman right over the middle on a 3-yard pattern, making the catch and keeping that drive alive and allowing Anderson to go down the field, that has been the name of the game. Death by 1,000 paper cuts tonight.
Yeah, they're starting to get that secondary to loosen up a little bit, and they're starting to take advantage of it.
Timeout on the field. We'll step aside, too. 3:01 left to go here in this third. 28-7 Anderson here on Spectrum News 1. Coming into this ballgame, Anderson scored 77 touchdowns this year. They tacked on 4 more, and they lead at 28-7. Would you like to hear how they scored all those touchdowns?
It's a lot of touchdowns, lots of points. I'd like to see Trotwood, and it looks like they are, get out of the cover two and condense the space so they're not getting easy access throws.
The home run out to the sideline, incomplete out at the 40-yard line. Intended for Kathman. I think Scalf was trying to reward his favorite receiver tonight.
Yeah, they've done that a couple of times. When they're getting a single high look or just straight man-to-man, they're running some inside verticals, getting a good receiver matched up on a safety or even a linebacker. But again, that's at this point, you might want to take away the space, take your shot, because you can't just give up 7-yard hitches all the time either.
Another deep pass out to Weaver, out to midfield, and a first down. Tyson Weaver again.
Owen Scalf, the number 1.
He caught a couple of touchdown passes in the first half to give Anderson the early momentum and move the chains.
He was tackled by number 16, Ryan.
And they go right to the line. Davis is in a slot to the left as they empty out the backfield. And the keeper by Scalf. Up the gut. Has good yardage across the 40.
Number 8, Owen Scalf on the quarterback keeper.
Let me share with you this. 81 touchdowns, right?
16, Ryan.
Including tonight, 41 passing, 31 rushing, 1 fumble recovery, 2 pick sixes, 1 off a block kick, and 5 punt returns.
It's a mark of a good team. There's a lot of balance there.
They go to Kathman again. And another first down. And the ball came out at the end. He might be declared down.
Pass complete to number
I think
3,
Trotwood might have recovered
Kathman.
that.
Made a fumble on the play. Recovered by Trotwood.
It is recovered by Trotwood-Madison. So then you get a break out at the 25-yard line. Cooper Kathman lost it on his way down. And that short circuits the drive.
It was a bizarre play. So they keep running the hitch. Trotwood defender tried to jump the hitch and jump the quick throw for the pick. He misses. It looks like Anderson was going to break away. And then typically it's the defender you don't see causes the fumble, and that's what happened. The defender from behind caused the fumble, knocked the ball out, and Trotwood stops a big drive.
They show Blitch off the edge. Kuhn coming after the quarterback. And it's taken by Harrell, and Harrell breaks away out to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, and a good start here on this drive for Trotwood-Madison.
And Trotwood was able to take advantage of Anderson blitzing 5 that time. They send 5, no one really peels off to take the back. They get a nice play in space.
First down, Rams.
It's Sheehy, rolls right, throws on the move, and incomplete. Well, do we have the catch? We're going to come back on that one.
Pass intended for number 15, Zaire Fields. It was incomplete. Second down, return.
1:56 left to go here in this third. Anderson's in command. They've scored 2 touchdowns here in a third quarter in which Trotwood-Madison had only given up 24 all year in the third quarter. Sheehy looking right, throwing right, complete to the right. Rogers out to the sideline.
The pass is complete from quarterback Dallas Sheehy to 0 Armani Rogers.
Trotwood's trying to take advantage of that open space in the flats with the running back and the receivers in the flats. Pretty good job there by Anderson's corners coming up and making a tackle, or at least preventing a big play by Rogers.
It's 3rd and 6.
Third down.
3 to the left, Kylan Trigg closest to you. Here comes Anderson. The throw over the deep middle, incomplete, intended for Rogers and broken up. Gerard Lindsey. Preston is starting service tonight at safety, breaks it up.
Great play there. Looked like Dallas had him open there for a couple seconds, but the DB really closed fast. Nice pass breakup. I think Trotwood might be going for this.
They appear to be there in the huddle for 4th down. Lindsey's been the bastion of good luck. A week ago, off a pass deflection by Ace Alston, he intercepted the ball at the 40 and blocked in against LaSalle.
That was a great play there on 3rd down, big play.
Anderson not showing blitz. They're content to stay back. Sheehy rolls right under pressure. Now throws down the field, and it is incomplete out at the 20-yard line. Beg your pardon, out at the 30-yard line, and another turnover on downs.
That's a good no call. There's nothing there on pass interference either way. You know, Anderson keeps bringing 5 every time. They're bringing at least 5 every time, and Trotwood's really having a hard time picking up the pressure each time.
1:37 left to go. Anderson takes over.
First and 10, Anderson.
It's at the opposing 44-yard line. Do you go up top here on play number 1?
I don't know that they go up top on the first play. I wonder if they kind of weave themselves into the drive and then take a shot.
Scalf keeps. Back to the line of scrimmage.
Number 8.
Tell you what, he took another big hit there.
And out there, making the play or in on the play was Elijah Appleberry and Juice Weiss, who we haven't really called much tonight. He's the 4-star going to Ohio State out of the class of 2028. Just a sophomore, playing both ways.
And I think that's the key, is that he's playing. We do have a new quarterback in here right now, Jeff, but Trotwood's defensive line playing both ways. Again, that to me, that's been a little bit of a key here. Starting to get a little tired as the game's going on.
Quarterback keeper. And not much. Is that 12? Is that Jalick? So it is.
Jalick at quarterback, yes. Scalf is back in.
So a little change of pace. I don't know if Scalf came up a little gimpy on the previous play, but Jalick ran quarterback for a play, and now Scalf's back. And they have gone a little bit more conservative, and I think they're going to close out the half with a run. 24 seconds left to go. They empty out the backfield. We'll see if Evan Dreyer makes a liar out of me.
Inside fade somewhere.
Scalf throws complete out to the sideline for a first down. Out to the 31-yard line to Tegan Jalick.
Yeah, he had an inside fade down here, and then it looks like he had a choice route to the top. Very nice throw by Owen Scalf. Broke off the vertical man-to-man for the first down.
Owen Scalf has 4 touchdown passes tonight. This has been his game here in Region 8. And a little counter back to the left. This time, Davis, well, he initially broke contain, but is good to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was that same sprint draw we saw early on in the beginning of the second half. That was a big gainer.
And we've come to the end of the third. 28-7, one more quarter to go here in this Region 8 final here on Spectrum News 1. We come to the all-important fourth quarter. 28-7. The top seed Raptors have taken control of this ball game with 2 touchdowns in the third quarter and lead it by 3 scores, along with Nate Mahon. Nate the Great, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Spectrum News 1. Partner, has this lived up to expectations? I think coming in, we weren't really sure what to make of Trotwood-Madison. They've played tough all year long. We've seen Anderson up and close in firsthand, and you know how fast they can score, and they scored in a hurry a couple times tonight.
Yeah, they have. I think they've done a really nice job of taking the one-on-ones with their best players, and they've connected.
Second down, and 10.
Scalf's at quarterback, empty backfield, looking, throwing, and finds Jalick again. Out of bounds. Let's see where they mark him exactly, but it's close to that first down.
Yeah, really all night long they've run a nice concept out of empty down here with 2 of their best players. You got Jalick and you had Weaver at the same side. Weaver runs a clear out vertical on the inside route. The outside guy runs a hitch, and he's just reading the corner.
It's a run to Davis. Maybe a yard. Tegan Jalick, by the way, his older brother, Trace Jalick, and of course you remember him from the last few years. Trace was unreal, especially last year. 107 catches and getting to the state final. 1,932 yards and 20 touchdowns. That's an all-state performance.
I think they learned how to play receiver at an early age, maybe.
They grow them up well in Forest Hills, is what you're saying.
Yeah, back to empty here. Same situation. You got Jalick and Weaver down here to the boundary. A little vertical and a hitch. Probably Reed down here to the boundary potentially. You got cover 0.
At the 23-yard line on 1st and 10, and the ball on the ground, and Scalf covers it up. If that's the worst thing that happens to Anderson tonight, Evan Dreyer's going to be okay with it.
That's really the first bad snap miscue that you've seen from the Anderson side.
By the way, Quinn Gajan, who was the lone holdover on the offensive line from a year ago on that team that went to the state final, he's been outstanding at center.
Yeah, The mark of a good center or a snapper is when you don't call their name much, right?
No, and I think that's the point. It's like a cover corner, right?
That's right. That's right.
You know a cover corner in particular is good when you never call the opposing wide receiver's name.
You got Weaver at a wing. Look for a trick play here.
The throw out to Davis, out of the backfield. He's been a great safety valve, but here he was the first and only option, I think, on that play.
He was run out of bounds by number 7.
We did notice this, that we did have Kathman rolling across the line, and you were wondering, maybe this is a counter play of some sort, and it's a pass play back to Cooper.
Same thing, you got Weaver at the wing again.
Pass intended for number 3, Cooper Kathman.
So we did mention Cooper Kathman's name, and incomplete.
Looks like they are going to try to bring on the field goal team here.
See Antoine Higgins come on in.
Opportunity to go up 4 scores.
Oh, and that's huge, right? You'll take that any day of the week.
Excuse me, 3.
Here's Maddox Snyder. Does he punch it through? He sure does. From 39 yards out, and it's 31-7 as we head to the timeout. 10:41 left to go in this ball game. Anderson's in control here on Spectrum News 1. Field goal by Maddox Snyder from 39 yards out, caps off a 9-play drive that started back in the third period. It stalled out at the 22, but he got it across the crossbars. And we got a brand new score at 31-7. Short kick by Snyder. Might have been Dalen Dennis back there. We saw one of the upbacks up there, but not much there, and it's 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. So you got a 24-point lead. You're in the realm of safety. How much are you breathing easier now if you're Evan Breyer?
I think that field goal was huge to go up that extra score, right? So kind of puts him out of range in regards to you could probably play off coverage and just keep everything in front of you. Don't give it any big plays at all. Keep everything in front of you. And again, there shouldn't be a whole lot of time left.
Well, what we noticed here in particularly the last drive is there were no deep shots by Dreyer in terms of play calling. And the ball loose off the hands of Sheehy, and he is dropped back at his 5-yard line. Brady Kuhn back there.
Couldn't tell if there was miscommunication or just the snap was just mishandled, but that's a big loss.
Number 1, Dallas Sheehy on the keeper.
The ball looked like it came off his right shoulder, so the ball was a little high and right? So if you're thinking about this from a baseball perspective, if you're pitching to a left-handed batter, that was high and tight.
Definitely high and inside, get him off the plate.
Second down, and long.
So it's an 11-yard loss, back to the 9-yard line. Sheehy out of the gun, and another high snap. He grabs it this time, and this one a little wide of the receiver, incomplete, intended for Deshaun Peterson. So Peterson playing linebacker, but playing receiver now here in the late minutes. And this is that time where your best athletes come and play both ways.
I think at this stage of the game, at this stage of the season, you're either going to win or you're going to go down with your best guys on the field at all times. Not a whole lot of great play calls for 3rd and 20, Jeff.
Oh, no, not a lot of them. Do you try to break it up again? Try to get 10 here in a chunk?
I think so, yeah.
Twins to the right. And it's Sheehy on a split draw out to the left, and he gains some of it back, close to the original line of scrimmage. And I think what we surmised is true here. It's like you don't have anything for downfield, especially the way the defensive backfield in the last 3 quarters have really played for Anderson.
It looks like Trotwood's going to punt.
Fourth down.
Dual return men coming back. Short punt. Out to the 50. It's about a 30-yard kick, and this could be the delight that Anderson is looking for. One more score to really accentuate another Region 8 championship.
Tell you what, it's a story of two halves right now. Anderson has played a very, very good second half. They've leaned on them on the correct side of the 50-yard line, and they've done a really nice job of cashing in their opportunities when they get inside the red zone. I think that's the one thing that Trotwood hasn't done a great job of. When they did get that ball in the red zone in the first half, they just didn't cash in.
It's at the opposing 48th. Here's the home run for Jalick, and it's too tall for him. He turned him around as Scalf was looking to the sideline and Jalick was looking inside, and they were trying to get exclamation points on that last play. Second down. Well, this is the fun time, right? You're up by 24 points. You have the ball. Why not go ahead and have a little fun and try to seal this one right now?
Second down and 10.
Empty backfield. Scalf throwing short. Complete. It's to Weaver. He breaks free. He has the first down.
They really
Out to the 35-yard line.
Jeff, I tell you what, it just seems like when they're in empty and they've got Weaver, they got Jalick to the same side, they're looking that way all night long. Putting your two best receivers on one side.
They set up a screen for Davis. Out to the sideline. Has the 30 and is pushed out of bounds there. Everything that Anderson has done offensively tonight, especially in the last couple of quarters and change, has been very nearly perfect, and we have an official stop for an injured player. We'll step aside too. 8:33 left to go in this ball game. 31-7 here on Spectrum News 1. The OHSAA State Championships return to Canton and to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium once again. Join Spectrum News 1, your exclusive home of the OHSAA Championships, beginning Thursday, December 4th for coverage of all 7 title games through Saturday, December 6th. It's all on Spectrum News 1, your home for high school sports. Well, trying to make a case to get back to state is the Anderson Raptors, and they are 8:33 away from winning Region 8 and getting to the state Final Four.
In the second half, they've really done a nice job of they've found something here into the boundary. They're loading up the boundary with their best players, whether it's Davis, whether it's Jalick, or whether it's Weaver, or a combination of two or all three of them, and they're picking on it, and it's working every time. So situation is, if it's not broke, don't fix it, and they continue to go back to it and have a lot of success all second half.
Jariah Zigo was the injured player. He jogs off the field, so he'll be all right. 8:33 left to go to the conclusion of this one. Anderson's in control. And they might have already sealed this one away, but knowing Coach Dreyer, he wants one more score.
Yeah, I think one more score puts you on the running clock. It gets you out of here maybe a little quicker, but at some point you probably also think about, okay, let's get the next week and be as healthy as possible, too. Those are probably the two thoughts.
They motion Kathman out to the left side. He will run with it out towards the 30. Kathman has been an option quarterback in the sense that when he gets the handoff, he will look down the field for an open receiver. He saw none, and he kept it for a couple of yards. He's thrown 3 touchdowns in those situations this year. Twins to the left, twins to the right. And Davis exits the backfield. Empty set for Owen Scalf, and then another check with me out to the sideline. On 3rd and 5. 5 on the play clock. Scalf looking, deep middle, throwing deep middle for the home run, and it is incomplete, broken up at the 2. Intended for Cooper Kathman. But the defensive backfield for Trotwood-Madison saying you're not going to get points that easy.
Yeah, it was a good read by Owen Scalf. It was also a good play by Trotwood. Trotwood went 3 over 2 down here, so Trotwood made the adjustment to put 3 defenders over the 2 into the boundary, so that leaves you one-on-one down the middle of the field, and they tried to connect.
4th and 5, and they're going to go for it.
Same look.
Looking long, now looking back left, throwing left, and it's behind the receiver. Jalik was wide open, and the ball thrown behind him, and it's a turnover on downs with 7:22 left to go.
Looks like we're going to get a defensive holding in the secondary.
And the Rams have bailed out the Raptors.
First down.
The head official tonight, Chris Beckstedt. I believe this is his second straight Region 8 championship game as a referee.
He has the right call. They had a smash concept into the boundary, and when he went to make the double move, the Trotwood defender just reached out and grabbed him and held him, preventing him from getting open.
Scalf looking right, setting it up. It's Davis on that right side, turned around and put down hard.
Pass was complete from quarterback Owen Scalf. The number 5, Jordan Davis. The tackle was made by number 21, Major Dewberry.
Loss of 2 on the play, 7 minutes to play.
Second down.
Triplets left, looking left, hands left. It's Davis again. A little counter up the middle, out inside the 10-yard line. And it's first and goal coming up.
This tackled by number 9, Terry Harrell.
Harrell, who's seen a lot of time at running back, gets to stop on defense. And officially, the first and goal at the 9. Scalf looking right, throwing right, and incomplete out to the right. That would have been a very difficult catch out on that side for Tyson Weaver.
Yeah, I like the design there. They had Weaver come back underneath. Weaver looks like he is down on the play, but they had Weaver come back underneath from the wing spot. Scalf looks like he could have ran it himself or tossed it up. It looks like Weaver is down on the play.
And we'll hold things right here. It is Tyson Weaver. He went down a little awkwardly out on that sideline trying to make a hat trick tonight, get his 3rd touchdown.
Yeah, it looked like he might have came down and rolled his ankle. Hopefully that's all it is.
One of the things that we had talked about back in the first half was about leading at the half. What happens? This is the 13th game that Anderson has played in. They have led at the half in 12 of those games. And right now, obviously, being undefeated, as Weaver looks to be all right. You want to say that the recipe for success is to lead at the half, right? You go to intermission, you got a good feeling, you can play from ahead. But at the same point, the one game that they were behind by was to an awfully tough Winton Woods team, and they still managed to come back on them. So right now, Anderson seemingly rolling on all cylinders in the bottom 24 minutes of ball games.
Yeah, they certainly seem like a team that's going to play with momentum and play with positivity and continue to just keep on chugging along, and that's what they've done tonight.
Second and goal from the 9.
Looks like they got a wing back in there in an empty set.
And it might be Holt again. Remember, Holt scored that touchdown, and it is Holt that's out there. And another timeout. So we'll hold things right here. Let's talk a little bit about what's coming up. With 6:28 left to go and a lead by 24. Right now, Anderson's on their way to their 3rd straight Region 8 crown. So Evan Dreyer, I don't know if he's already thinking about next week, but it's going to be against a very tough team. You and I talked with Coach Dreyer prior to the ball game, and both Massillon, Washington, and Big Walnut present big challenges.
Right, I think Big Walnut, obviously familiar foe from years past, right? Big Walnut runs the ball very well. Coach Dreyer talked about that in pregame. Obviously, Massillon, Washington has won some state titles, right? They have a very good team as well. Interested to see where that score's at right now. But, you know, when you're playing this late in the year, everyone's going to be pretty darn good too, right? So, but, yeah, I think it's interesting because a lot of the teams that are here have been here. So it's not going to be a shock and awe factor. Should be a great matchup next week.
And we remember that Big Walnut was leading over Massillon, Washington at the half. So if that lead holds up for Big Walnut, it'll be a rematch in the state semifinal of last year's state semifinal game. The throw, complete, touchdown! Tegan Jalick makes it 37-7. Have mercy.
We talked earlier about the chemistry of Owen Scalf and his receivers. And that was just a very quick slant. And I tell you what, the chemistry you could see on the catch and throw there again. Hats off to those guys. They played very well tonight.
Maddox Snyder on for another point after conversion. And it is up and through 38-7. And believe it or not, we have a running clock in the Region 8 final. Have mercy. We'll hold things right here as we look back on that last drive. That took 2 minutes and 34 seconds off the clock. 7-play drive. The capper, Scalf to Jalick, point after good. And the brand new score on this running clock, 38-7. 5 touchdown passes tonight for Owen Scalf. Give him 37 on the year. Mercy.
He's other than the first quarter with a little bit of shakiness, he's played really, really well the rest of the game. He's been on point. He's been very accurate. Been impressed with the moxie that he's been able to handle the pass rush, stand in there and throw very catchable, accurate balls.
Right now, the big concern, if you're Evan Dreyer and the Anderson faithful, is if Tyson Weaver's okay. He did limp off the field underneath his own power. He looked fine coming to the sideline. But to your point, right now, you're at a point where you just want to run out the clock and go look ahead to next week.
Yeah, if it's me, I'm thinking about next week. Let's get the heck out of here healthy and move on.
Kicking off, number 11, Maddox Snyder.
Owen Scalf has been the story of the night. 5 touchdown passes. He has been gold. Clock's officially running now. It is a running clock with a 31-point lead. You still do have a play clock, so you still gotta, actually use plays. And this one will go out to the sideline and out of bounds, out about the 10-yard line. And the ball will come out 1st and 10 at the 35.
Kick out of bounds. Kicking team. Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Jeff, it's interesting in our talks with both head coaches, both of them mentioned discussions about two-way players and Trotwood having a lot of kids going both ways. And that's been very evident tonight.
I think Evan Dreyer, in coming into this ball game, was hoping keep it close going into the second half, wear them out. And that has been the recipe tonight. It's Sheehy with Harrell in the backfield with them. They're coming. They bring 5. And complete out across the 41-yard line. And it's to Armani Rogers, who had the lone score of the ball game. In fact, gave Trotwood-Madison the lead back in the first quarter. And then after that, it's been an Anderson avalanche. They've gone on a 38-0 run. Triplets to the right. A little early to be talking basketball. Sheehy looking, deep middle, complete across the deep middle. And a first down. It's to the backup wide receiver, Kylan Trigg.
Yeah, for the first time in a while, Anderson just rushed 3. And the quarterback had time to throw and deliver him a strike on a dig route.
4.5 to play. Sheehy throws right, complete out to the right. And Rogers has nowhere to go out about the 46-yard line. He might have lost a yard.
Big theme in the second half for Anderson is them sending 5-man pressure. The 5-man pressure has worked 90% of the time. Shout out again to defense coordinator Nick Schmidt for making that adjustment at halftime, sending 5-man pressure, and really not giving Trotwood a chance to breathe as far as pass pro goes.
Sheehy with time. Deep middle and another comeback route and complete again. 3 straight completions and it's Trigg again.
For quarterback Dallas Sheehy to number 80, Kylan Trigg.
3.5 to play here in this ball game. The wonders of a running clock. They throw right, and it's Trigg again up the seam, out to the 25-yard line, 3.5 to play. The quick passing game, where's it been all night?
Yeah, it looks like Anderson may have took the foot off the gas a little bit on defense. But you're right, the ball all of a sudden is coming out of his hand real nice. He's got time to throw. When he has time to throw, he delivers a good ball.
It's Sheehy out to the left, and Dennis is brought back. Might not have gained anything on that one. Want to talk about Geoff Graham while we have a minute here. So, of course, Geoff Graham played for 11 years in the NFL. He was a great Buckeye. He played at Alter High School as an option quarterback. The thing that I want to mention about Geoff Graham, who was exceedingly nice and generous with his time this week with us, is that I mentioned to him that the first time I ever saw a touchdown in the city of Columbus, it was Geoff Graham scoring to the south sideline, to the south end zone at Ohio Stadium. Where I saw it is different. As Sheehy rolls left, and it's incomplete as the clock continues to tick. Here's the point. I couldn't afford a seat as a freshman in college to go to Ohio State games, but I lived in Morrill Tower, which is the nearest one out to the ball field. Now, at that time, you had the temporary stands and the south stands, right? So you could see through and see about 20 yards of the field and the end zone. So the first time I ever laid eyes on Ohio State football, Geoff Graham was running down the field all by himself for a touchdown against Boston College.
Did you share that with him?
I did.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I'm sure he liked that. No wonder he was so nice. Yeah, he was super generous with his time this week and talked a lot about game plan. We very much appreciate that.
And he is snowed under. A big secondary rush. Braden Black, the junior backup defensive lineman, in with the sack with 1:32 to go. 4th down. Ball's back. Out to the 30-yard line. 4th and long. We'll call it 4th and almost 16. And they try to rush off the corner. Kuhn does. Long throw down the field, and it might have been picked off. No, it's left on the ground.
Pass intended for 0, Armani Rogers. It was incomplete.
Intended for Rogers, and it might have been Mark Madden. And if it's Madden, he's a little slow to get up, but he had the inside track on 4th down. Or is that Kamari Ty, the birthday boy? Clock stopped for some reason here on the change of possession with 1:03 left to go. The Anderson brass now making plans for wherever they go, as we have a knee for Scalf, and I believe we'll have one more. Just awaiting one more knee out of the shotgun victory formation. And that's it. Congratulations to the Raptors. Not once, not twice, 3 times. Region 8 champions. A dominating effort tonight, Nate Mahon. Owen Scalf was magic tonight, going with 5 touchdowns. He commanded the offense from the very get-go.
Yeah, you talk about your big-time players making big plays and big moments. Region championship game, they had a dominant performance, and they did it with their big players and their best players, right? I mean, between Weaver, Scalf, Jalick, just all made big-time plays, play after play, and man coverage, and that's what showed out. Tip of the cap to Anderson, a dominant performance. Looking forward to seeing them play next week.
And it'll be against the winner of Big Walnut and Massillon, Washington. Last year's game that we had covered here on Spectrum News 1, a nail-biter against LaSalle that went down to the final defensive play. Tonight, this one not in doubt for a long time. A running clock at the end, 38-7 the final. Let's give you a quick rundown on the scoring here in this ball game. The only touchdown and the initial lead by Trotwood-Madison. Back in the first quarter, Sheehy to Rogers from 29 yards out, 3:17 left to go in the first quarter. Point after good, 7-0. And then after that, it was all Anderson. They tied up the ball game about a minute later on a touchdown pass from Scalf, the first of 5 tonight. This one went to Weaver, the first of 2 tonight for Tyson Weaver. Point after good with 2:11 to go, and it's 7-7. They went ahead for the first time, and this turned out to be the game winner in the second quarter. With 6:57 left to go, it was a 25-yard touchdown pass to make it 14-7. Before we get on with the rest of the scoring, Coach, I want to talk about that touchdown in particular because that's our play of the night. Scalf from the left outside of the left hash line, under pressure, threw off his back foot and threw an absolute dime right into the hands of Weaver for the touchdown along the sideline.
And to me, that's a microcosm of the game, right? So in that situation, they had multiple matchups that they took in the second half. They had one of their best receivers on a safety, one-on-one with no help. Pressure in his face. He stood in the pocket and delivered a very good dime throw. Big-time players make big-time plays, Jeff.
Second touchdown of the night for Scalf, and both went to Weaver in the first half, and we went to the break. It's 14-7. And then the rest of the scoring, Scalf to Kaufman with
District Athletic Board presents the 2025.
It was a 14-yard touchdown pass in the third in the initial drive, and it was 21-7, 28-7. Scalf finding Holt, the linebacker, who decided that they wanted to run him out as a tight end on fourth down. They found him in the flat from 2 yards out. Point after good, 28-7. It was 31-7 on a 39-yard field goal by Maddox Snyder with 10:41 left to go in the game. And the capper tonight, 9 yards from Scalf to Tegan Jalick, point after good with 6:23 left to go in the game. That made it a running clock score at 38-7, and that's your final tonight. Coach, it's been fun having you here in the ballpark and getting to see you for the first time in a few years, actually, if we're going to be perfectly honest among friends. Your impressions of this one as we put a wrapper to it?
I think Anderson was impressive. I think it was a tale of two halves. I think the first half, Trotwood didn't do a great job of capitalizing when they had field possession of the ball inside the red zone. Anderson did, and then Anderson just leaned on them. Didn't have a whole lot of, obviously, two-way players that Trotwood did. They leaned on them, and they took care of business. They've been there before. They look pretty dominant tonight.
I think that was well understated by you, partner. Pretty dominant tonight is for sure. Again, the final tonight, 38-7. Anderson improves to 13-0. Trotwood-Madison ends their year at 8-4. The 1 seed defeating the 3 seed tonight. And of course, Anderson will play the winner of Big Walnut or Massillon, Washington next week. Site undetermined as of yet, but it's hard to imagine that it won't be at Welcome Stadium up at the University of Dayton campus. Want to give thanks to our executive producer, Rob Coons, to our producer, Jeff Hitzman, also to Mike McKeever. Thanks to Scott Kaufman and his staff at Lakota West High School. They took care of us superbly tonight. Again, the final here in this one. Anderson moves on, 13-0. Winners, 38-7 behind 5 Owen Scalf touchdowns. They go to the state semifinals, winners of Region 8. For Nate Mahon, I'm Geoff Kim. Good night from Beckett Ridge.